Medical Center, the local hospital there, with very latest tonight. Tammy?
David and Lisa, just first of all, this is an absolutely horrifying and frightening situation. Our CBS News police sources are telling us at least 20 people, 20 loved ones are dead, and many, many more people are hurt after an active shooter attacked a restaurant and a bowling alley where kids go. And what's terrifying about the situation is that that suspect is still on the run. And right now, we are at the Central Maine Medical Center, and they say they are reacting to a mass casualty event. We saw armed officers guarding the entrance of this hospital and many, many first responders in the emergency room right now as we speak. And right now, again, there is a massive manhunt for the suspect who's seen armed with a rifle. The Maine law enforcement bulletin seen by CBS News says Maine State Police is trying to find Robert Card. Again, Robert Card is who they're looking for. Our I-team sources tell us his car has been recovered, but he is still on the run. Now, this terrifying night started around 8 p.m. Investigators say that suspect opened fire at Schmenge's Bar and Grill and Spare Time Recreation Center. That's a bowling alley about 4 miles away where a lot of children go and birthday parties happen. Police have asked people to stay off the streets and stay inside their homes with their doors locked. Businesses have shut down, and we've been driving through some of these streets on our way to this hospital. They are eerily quiet as everybody's trying to shelter in place so police can find the suspect. We saw chilling video of people running for their lives in the chaos. Ambulances and helicopters from Boston and surrounding towns have been called in to help. Even the ATF is responding. Of course, this is still a very active and fluid situation where the death toll and the number of injured people will be changing. Right now, the mayor of Lewiston is urging people to shelter in place and says he is heartbroken for the city and says that the city will need a lot of strength and grit in the coming days. I know a lot of people are just talking on social media saying, you know, this is a devastating night where people are left wondering what happened or why this happened. You know, a lot of people are obviously afraid for their safety. We're here standing where the police are. They're guarding this hospital as patients and people are coming here to be treated after this terrifying situation. You know, these people, these victims were just out minding their own business, enjoying their families when they were violently gunned down. And right now, again, there is an urgent manhunt and police are trying to find Robert Card. But for now, we're live in Lewiston, Maine. Tammy, Mutasa, WBZ News. We'll definitely be staying on top of the situation.
Of course, and Tammy, before we let you go, you're out there in front of the medical center. You made a great point about it just being so eerily quiet there. It makes sense since police have been telling people, get inside your house, lock the doors. Give us a sense, if you can, about what you're seeing there at the hospital. Are you seeing families sort of rushing to the hospital to see loved ones who may have been injured? Of course, our report is more than 50 people injured. Sadly, at least 20 people killed. Are you seeing people stay away from that area? A mad rush of ambulances? Give us a sense of what you're seeing right there, right now.
Well, David and Lisa, what I can say, you know, just driving up to the hospital, it is eerily quiet around this neighborhood. That is one thing. It is dark. People are scared. We saw people looking out their windows. Here at the hospital right now, we don't see a mad rush of ambulances. I do see a lot of police officers who are armed with rifles that are guarding this area right now, and they're telling cars to keep driving, like, don't stop here and look at the situation. Of course, there's a curiosity about what is going on, but police don't want people on the streets because right now there is a suspect who's on the run, who's wanted for killing many, many people and destroying people's families. So right now there is an intensity outside this hospital. Definitely the streets around it are eerily quiet. We also drove by the command post. There is a massive scene of investigators, Maine State Police, ambulances that are gathered at that bank. But they told us that we should not be there. So we're here at the hospital keeping an eye on things. But of course, it is heavily guarded. Right now we see several police cars and a lot of people are in the emergency room. We can see through the windows as first responders are there. They're kind of gathering around by the emergency room door, but we still don't see a massive rush of ambulances, just a lot of police officers, a lot of security, and they're encouraging people to stay away and to stay home and to stay safe.
Okay, Tammy Mutasa giving us the latest from the medical center there. Tammy, please stay close to those police officers and please be safe. Lisa?